Morning everybody, welcome to 61. Weren't expecting this morning when you woke up the bed, were you? So what we're doing up here is I'm going to grab some hardware off that other cowl area dash piece. I want some bolts for those uprights, but there's all the screws in the dash and everything that I haven't got. So I'm going to see if we can get them out. For shits and giggles. They've already been up here. So yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can get some of these bolts and bits and pieces out. But I've got to get the dash out first to get to them. So it's a good opportunity to get them. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm after. While we're up here, I'll get all these, because it's got all the little trims, and behind there's quite a few of them. And this obviously this old dash piece that's absolutely rotten. We'll undo all the screws out of that too, because it's obviously helps hold this in. So yeah, we'll get them off and so we can get this thing out. And then I want the bolts that hold these on. And see, this is the difference with these earlier ones, or the hard tops. This would have been one of the duplexes or something like that, which has got the hard top but still the open sides. So it's, yeah, these posts are completely different to what the other car is, because they got the piece that pokes, well, yeah, it juts in, you know, and you can got the little clips that you can hook the rag top sides and everything in. Where this is a bit different. So yeah, so that is a difference. What year this is, I don't know, but it's obviously very similar. It's around that sort of 25, 26, 27 sort of era. Because it is fairly hard to tell the difference. But yeah, so we'll see if we can get some of these screws out of here. We're in the corner in there, the old bucket of poo that's up here. So you want some of these bolts. It's mainly what I want. But while we're here, right, we'll try again. I have had a bit of a play and I broke one off. So who knows which was that one. We'll play and see if we can get a few more of these out. So I just got the cordless grinder up here with the wire, and I've just run over it. I did it off camera because I wasn't carrying a mask up here as well. I forgot. That's all. But anyway, so I just did it off camera. But yeah, lots of dirt and shit. But anyway, so I'd see if we can get these friggin' screws out of this thing. I don't like my chances. They look like they've been had to go at a few times. So we'll try. But yeah. And see if we can get this off, because I want those friggin' bolts for these. If I can get two out, I'll be happy, because then I've got enough for that. You know, it's like the other two might have to be used on that other thing sometime, or this whole cowl might have to be used on that at some point. Who knows? Like if I end up rebuilding that, like, because yeah, I don't know what's going on with this America stuff. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's very frustrating because I see Arco doing work on Rogue, and you know, I'd love to be there trying to put input into it to, you know, help push it in directions, and I can see he needs help because it's only him and Heidi, and Heidi's, you know, busy doing a lot of other stuff all the time, and he needs help, and he needs, you know, to bounce ideas backwards and forwards between two people, especially when you're both fairly knowledgeable about cars. Makes a huge difference. Like sometimes I'd love to have another set of hands here, but they need to be somebody that's on that same sort of wavelength and level. Like I could have somebody here tomorrow helping me, but it's you want help that's, I would say, got a bit of knowledge and useful. Like I don't want to be trying to train somebody doing this stuff. They need to have, I'd say, like learnt a bit about cars and played with cars a bit. It'd be different if it was a bit bigger workshop and you had a few guys and you could get somebody to do just basic tasks and build into it. But when it's just you in one vehicle, it's very hard to get somebody to be doing basic tasks, because if you got half a dozen builds on the go, they can bounce between little jobs and learn and build without going into something that really needs a delicate touch, and they haven't learnt that delicate touch. Because there's a lot of times when you'll be working on something and you're trying to undo something, or hence do something up on some of this old stuff, and after you've been doing it and playing with cars like I have for since the 80s, basically as a kid, by the time I was 10, I was helping Dad, and I've been doing it ever since. Like I'm now almost 47. So like you learn a feel of something if it doesn't feel right, and you think, oh shit, it's going to break. If it doesn't matter, you can go ahead and break it off so you can get it out of the road, or you know how to deal with it. But if somebody is green that hasn't had a lot of experience with stuff, you'd be doing something up and they'll go, oh, that's a bit tight, and they reach on it instead of going, oh, that doesn't feel good. They might go, oh, that's a bit tight, and they'll push on it a bit more, and next thing they break something off, and then you're spending, a couple of days trying to repair what they've just broken, which if you'd backed it off, wound it out, maybe run a tap down through there, or cleaned it out, or just check something, maybe, replace a bolt or something like that didn't look very good, but they just pick it up and put it in, and you might have picked it up and thought, oh, that thread doesn't look too hot on there, we better find something better. They might pick something up, not realise, wind it in there, and then snap, and then, you're 2 or 3 days trying to fix something. And on vehicles like this, you don't have the luxury of going to somewhere and buying the bits easy. With a modern vehicle, sure, you don't want that happening either, but you can turn around and you can go, okay, shit, I need another one of these. You can go to a wrecking yard, or just a recycling yard, or you can go to the local parts store, and you 9 times out of 10 you should be able to get it within reason, if you know what I mean. But like this stuff, like there's not a whole heap of 1925 Studebakers sitting around, in the local area, like, so you just don't go find parts to fix or replace. You've got to spend days fixing it, or repairing it, or getting something made. So yeah, like a little bit of finesse sometimes when something doesn't feel right is a huge thing to have learnt, when you're playing with stuff like this. So anyway, I'll carry on. Yeah, because I can see that these bolts screws have been, because that one there's broken. It's actually got one side broken out of it, so I'm not going to get that out. But if I can get some of these other ones out, so even if I can get this dash partly away, I might be able to get some bolts out of here. But yeah, because like I'd love to have some help here, but it's like the way I could bring a young fella here tomorrow, but I would like somebody that's played with the cars, a bit more knowledge, and I've seen what they've done, to have a little bit of confidence in them, because it's very, very difficult to, as I said, to be fixing their mistakes all the time. You're going backwards. You'd be better off without them here. So as much as I would like to have somebody here, like I need somebody that I can work with, not train, if you know what I mean. That can come later. But anyway, we'll carry on, because now I'm getting off the subject of fixing this. This is just one of those things that, yeah, comes into your head when you're doing stuff. See if we can get a couple of these bottom ones out. See if we can work some bolts loose, eh? Oh, different. God damn. Different. Shit! Oh, that would be fucking just the way of it, wouldn't it? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I have to go see if I can find it. Hopefully they might still work, but yeah, they're a big, these are like a big nut and a stud, whereas the other ones are just a big bolt. So this is obviously an update. But yeah, I'll see. I'll go find some. I don't think the 3/4 big enough. Let's find something bigger. It's lots bigger. Good, sorry. Might have to leave the soak for a few days, I think. We'll go find something bigger so we can find out what size they're meant to be anyway. Shit, they're heaps bigger. I'll have to bring a 1/2 inch drive up here, I reckon. Maybe what, 15, 16 or something around about there, I reckon. Getting up around that inch sort of size. The looks of that. Ooh. We'll take some of this other shit down, eh? I'll bring some more tools back. Well, yeah, I didn't get them out. They didn't even budge, those nuts and bolts, so they're pretty solid. It's going to take some heat, and I ain't getting the gas plant up there. And they're not the right thing anyway, but I thought maybe if I could get one out, I'd see if they would screw in to the base, and then if I could get them all out, well, then I might just put the nuts on there. But I think what we'll do is I'll just see if I can find some bolts that are close to being right. Either we'll just get something made, if we have to. Yeah, unless I happen to come across them, I can keep digging through some of the stuff. But I think I've looked through most of the bolts and bits and pieces here early on, trying to find them. But it's one of those things that it's not going to hurt to have another look. And when I've just had a weed dig, I think this is one of the back door original trims. As you can see, it's pretty toasted, but gives me the location holes for the hood pieces, or for the side pieces. So I'm guessing that maybe there was wood in here too, but I don't know. I haven't, unless I come across another one and there's wood in it still. I couldn't tell you. but it gives me the location of where the holes would have been in the door. So like over here, on up the top, so about here, there was a hole down in, and here was a hole down into the wood frame to help support those curtain sides. So obviously there's holes here and here too, and there's a hole in the back of that door. Now I know in the original piece, on that side there was a hole in that too, so I've got that location. Or it might be here, or yeah, it's here. So I've got that location. I don't know, I wonder, it might add a double thing here maybe, I don't know. But so yeah, I have to look at that other door, but yes, holes in the year too. There's nothing under here. And I'm guessing on the back of this body there's a hole here. So this might have been a convertible top body, if you know what I mean. Or roadster, not roadster, a Tourer, open top Tourer. Oh, it's definitely freaking names for some of these things back then. Yeah, this has got some holes in here, and there's nothing else, so I don't really know. But so you like this, that gives me some more info. That's why you don't throw old pieces away, even though it looks like junk. But anyway, yeah. So I'll keep poking around, see if I can find some bits and pieces and bolts and stuff. Not that it's really critical, but I'm just sort of trying to piece bits together. I'm still waiting on information, and I'm still waiting on some sort of conduit tube, or maybe some light rod, you know, like some, I don't know, what are you talking, you know, sort of like 5 or 6 mil rod or something like that, or we're talking 1/4 of an inch type rod, so we can just sort of maybe mock up a few bits and pieces. Like we'll use the rod at some other point for something else if it is rod, you know, but we just want to maybe just mock up a few of these pieces and then just see how maybe this top piece folded up. I was actually thinking about it last night, and I'm not 100% sure, because we know this piece that comes up here, this piece here, so obviously that folds back and this comes down, but is this next piece here, is that connected to that? So when that folds down, does that fold like that? That's what I was thinking. And then the other piece that's off here, that's about here somewhere, goes to the top. So when that, so that one, that far piece, or the big piece drops down, the other piece drops on top of it, I think that piece will fold down back on here, and I think this piece here will fold back, but I'm not sure about that. And then how do they join together, and what holds them up, if you know what I mean. Like obviously a lot of the weight is on here on this post, but obviously when these things pull tight and they hook into here, that's obviously holding it, but what's stopping these from moving is it just comes to a certain point and then it sort of jams together and locks, if you know what I mean, like within reason. Like I don't know, so that's a lot of things. Like I was thinking about that a little bit last night, the folding, how if it is just those, you know, that main piece back, the other piece that comes forward, then obviously there's something between that and the next bit and then to the front post. You know, like, yeah, when that drops down, that piece must come on top, and then the very front piece must fold back, so it's all lying here like that. Now I have got one photo, I think of a grey one, that might show it because it's got the top down. I might see if I can find that photo, or see if I can pull it up on the phone and just have a wee look at that. that might explain a little bit more. So yeah, I might try and see if I can. I know it was a car that was for sale, and there's a few photos of it, but they're not very big. They're only small resolution. So when you try and blow them up on a thing like that, they're really overstretching, so it makes it very difficult to see detail. But it might give me some ideas, and yeah, I don't know if it's possible to find out who the person is that's got it, but this other one will be fine if I can get some photos of it. But yeah, I'm still waiting. Unfortunately, like it's very awkward to get. If the other person hasn't got time to do those things at that particular point in time, and I have to wait a couple of weeks, well, unfortunately that's what it is. So it's a real pain in the butt. It just happens to be nowhere close, and because of COVID, it makes it very awkward. Like you could go there and back in a weekend, like no worries at all. Like I could fly out of here on Friday night, land in Melbourne. So it would take 4 hours to get there basically if I left here at the airport, flew to Christchurch, or even drove to Queenstown, flew to Melbourne. So like that's say 6 hours by the time you got through the airport there. If you drove from here, it would take 6 hours. If you could basically go drive, jump on a plane and go, like if non-stop, it would be about 6 hours by the time you get out of the airport. And then obviously get to wherever his house is. You could spend a whole day there taking photos, taking measurements, taking drawings, and jump back on the plane on Sunday and be back here for Monday. it's not that far away. But yeah, it's just this COVID thing is just a freaking pain in the ass. Like I don't know whether there's any others that are around, if you know what I mean. Or we got that duplex. I think there is. I think there's supposed to be another one further up country somewhere here, but yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a duplex too. I think it's a duplex, but I'm not sure. Dad was talking about it, but I think it was one of the hard top versions. Again, I'm not sure if it's a convertible or not. But right, a Tourer. I would call it a convertible, but yeah, it's a Tourer body. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Or it might have been a duplex and it was turned into a Tourer. I'm not sure on that. But whether it was supposedly a factory Tourer. But yeah, so we need that info. But yeah, it would be interesting to work out, even with some rod. You just a rod and a few washers and some few bolts, and you could probably make a rough idea of the top, and then you can actually work out how it all folds together and get the length right. So it actually folds up and sits there nice, and then you can transfer that to obviously heavy gauge steel, and then you work out bows and lots of things. But yeah, it'd be interesting just to play, with a whole heap of heavy washers and some rod and just weld it together and throw a few bolts in it and just see if we can get it to work and fold up, and maybe even tie a bit of like ribbon or something on it, or maybe even some get a couple of old seat belts, big, as long as they're long enough, and maybe attach just a screw or something into the back of the body, and then just up over, and then just see if that's, and then you can get a length of material too, just bits and pieces like that. Then we can start ordering some stuff, or, you know what I mean. But anyway, we'll come back to you. So while I have got these posts off, I haven't cleaned up around here properly with the wire wheel or anything. So I might do that just for have a bit more clean up and get things out of the road. So I'll throw my mask on and hit this with the wire wheel. I might put the wire wheel back on the electric grinder so I get a bit more source out of it and not draining the battery on that DeWalt. Personally, I don't know how old this is, so it's a bit hard to say, but that would drive me. It's handy, but it would drive me nuts because the battery doesn't last very long if you're actually grinding with it. you know, I think because I had a set in Australia which was just a real budget set, but the drill and everything was quite good. Yeah, it did the job, but as soon as I put the battery on the grinder, like it was dead very quick. So obviously the grinders are very, very hard on them, on the batteries. So yeah, like handy for emergency situations, or if you've got to be somewhere where you don't have power. But if you're working in a workshop, as much as they're handy because you don't have to have a cord, but they're a pain in the ass because you're changing batteries all the time, unless you've got a whole bucket load of batteries for these things, and they aren't cheap, you know. Like you get those big 5-packs and you get 2 batteries or 3 batteries, where you just about need more than that if you're using the grinder all the time, because like I can blow 2 of those batteries out in a day on that thing, like just doing bits and pieces, just fluffing around. I quite like it because it's a bit slower for some things. You know, it's not so fast you can go, so you can get a little bit more gentle and do a little bit more fine grinding. But even at that, it's, yeah, you're holing through the battery still. So yeah, right. Be interesting to try some, because I know some of them are. This is only an 18 volt, so it must be a reasonable age. Be interesting to try some of those bigger ones that are a bit like 24 volt and all that sort of stuff. That'd be interesting to see how well they last. Anyway, I'll get this wire brush change over and the drill over here, or the grinder over here, and we'll have a quick clean up. Righty. Whew, she's cooled still. Now I need to get the boss to put some more diesel in the heater. So I went and grabbed a couple of bolts when I went for lunch. So they're a wee bit long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it up and just see. I don't know whether they'll go in there too deep or not. If they don't bottom out, I'll just take a little bit off the head of them, and obviously, you know, just re-profile the end so you can get it screwed back in. But so yeah, I'll stick these back on. We wire brushed it up earlier, so I'll just bolt them back up, I suppose, and see what happens. Man, I'd love to frickin' know what some of this top information stuff is. I actually haven't checked my emails, but because I'd like to start making something. I want to keep making this. Sort of what I'm sort of focused on. Like, there's other little bits and pieces I can do, but I feel like getting this top sort of thing on the way, if you know what I mean. Because that's about the only thing that's really stopping us from blowing it apart from, you know, drilling a couple of holes, and that's about the only thing that's really stopping us from going the next step on this car, is like this top stuff. But I really need the information so I can start making things properly. What I'm guessing for how that top comes over and hooks into here, I'm guessing it might have like a hole in it, this little slot, so it comes over and then goes and hooks in and can't come up until, I don't know, whether it pulls forward again, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm not exactly sure how that works. It'd be nice to know, but that's what I'm guessing. It comes over with a hole, obviously in that top, and maybe like a steel thing, and it comes around and it slots over that, and then pulls back and locks in into like into the slot like they can do, and that ball holds it on there. So if that's what it is, well, that should be fairly easy to make. No, it's basically the top comes up over, pulls in, and then just clips back and locks in there, and it can't come back. And if you want it to come off, you almost do it like, I don't know whether there's something you would have to help push it forward again and then come back. I don't know. But I'll bolt these on. I'll get this one on and then bolt the other one on and see if these bolts are too long.
Actually, way too long. Yeah. Yeah, wow. It's really too long. I didn't expect your fingers in the back behind it. Yeah, no, we have to shorten up a lot. I probably could have gone for the inch long bolt. Oh, still good. That's what they make grinders for. And cutting this. So what I should do is get the I'll just grab them. Okay, so I don't want that much thread. That makes it easier. Just lock that on there. Then we can shorten it. So it's... Yeah, that's about what it felt too long. We'll go cut it off. Quite a bit too long. Yes. Sorry, trying to fucking heat that on. So you were... Wait, get rid of that. Don't really need the flat washer. So you were at least that too long. So I've cut it just a smidge shorter than that. We'll be right. See, I probably should have just grabbed the inch long bolt. Because those other ones must have been a little bit longer than an inch. Yeah, they're a little bit longer. And I thought, well, they're better off being too long. I can cut it short. But yeah, probably the inch would have been just fine. Oh well. Shit happens. I gotta get it, but I'd rather have some fun cutting it off. I just discovered something. It's like, man, I'm sure you didn't give me that long a bolt. I was like, oh, okay. This one here's extremely long compared with that one. That must be like 2 inch. That's only 1.5 inches. It's like, no wonder it's too fucking long. Anyway, this is still gonna have a little bit off it, so it doesn't matter much. You probably might get away with it, but we'll just trim the end off this one. And yeah, and then we'll shorten that one up a heap. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, about there I do. Just leave it back a little bit from it. Alright, we'll cut that off. Righty. We'll go try again. Cut the does on now. Right. See if this looks like. This time. Right, where are we? Up there somewhere? Kinda. Yeah. There, son. In the hole. In the hole. In the hole. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's nice. Right. Other side. Well, might as well do that one while we're here. Oh, look at that, you're staring right at it. Ooh. Bloody marvellous. Get through the hole. And that's on there and there. Start tricking your crusty unit. Oh, we going forward because we can't find reverse. Yes. At least it wasn't stuck in reverse. just like I bought one. No, it is. I bought one because I bought it. Well, I didn't buy it. You know what I mean. Alright. I ain't going anywhere. Not this frickin' week anyway. Well, we're back away we were the other day, just about. I don't think we're about putting the dash in. But. There's a bit of dirt in there. Anyway. Yes. Yes. Yes, Danielson. Right. I might check my emails and see if I got any information. See if I can make some sense of any of this. Sorry. I'll be back. I'm back. Like the Terminator. Back. Before I go home, I'm going to set something up just in case I run out of things to do.
So mate, that'll be one of the next projects coming up too. So before I go anywhere, today, let's go around here. Once we need to build it again. Hopefully this. Oh, girl, I want to get another one. Doesn't look good at the moment, but. I always build one out of two. Well, the axle moves. It starts. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Please. Fun. Oh. It's an adventure for another day. See what happens tomorrow. If we get some conduit and stuff and whatever else and maybe a little information, we might start mocking up over here and see if we can make a using what we've got and what I think will work, so if we can mock up something that's close and just see how it folds up, and just then at least if we're struggling to get information, we might better work something out ourselves and make something that works. And yeah, and if we get some info at least, then we might better, we'll better obviously make a better and informed decisions. But yeah, we'll carry on, and we'll see you tomorrow. Whether it's on another video, who knows? Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow.